Thank you for joining us this evening here on Republic TV at 6 p.m. Each day, we have a new format called Across the Republic. And our aim through this show is to get you stories from across India, from the length and breadth of India that you may have missed through the day. So today we have a lineup of 6 stories from different corners of India. Here are the headlines. A historic Ram Navami at Ayodhya as the Surya Tilak adorns the Ram Lalla idol. As the Surya Tilak illuminates the idol in Ayodhya, Prime Minister is in Assam, chants Jai Shri Ram. You ask him whether he's fighting from Amethi, and Rahul Gandhi, who wants to do a caste census on the media, tells the reporter, you're asking a BJP question. So why is he so scared of straightforward answer to the Amethi question? "29 Maoists killed in a 24-hour encounter, one of India's biggest anti-Maoist operations." The Home Minister says, "We're completely Maoist free now." To the gang that wants ballot paper, that wants to take India back to the Stone Age and is against the EVMs, Supreme Court has delivered them a jolt, asking for the need for ballot paper in the first place. One of India's biggest anti-terrorist operations, Republic TV is at the encounter site in Chhattisgarh. We've been reporting from there for the last 24 hours as news trickled in of the Maoist encounter in which 3 top operatives, including Shankar Rao, who carried a bounty of 25 lakhs on his head. Here's the report from Ground Zero, as reported by the Republic Media Network.
In a fierce encounter in Chhattisgarh's Kanker district, 29 Maoists were neutralized by security personnel. The operation, carried out in the Hapatola forest between Binagunda and Koronar villages, was based on intelligence indicating the presence of senior Maoist cadres. A large cache of weapons, including AK-47s, SLRs, INSAS rifles, and .303 rifles were recovered from the location.
29 Naxalites were killed. They were neutralized by the BSF and the Chhattisgarh police. And here you can see all those arms and ammunition. So this is a gun that is that is kept over here. It's not just one gun or 2 guns. There are multiple guns that have been recovered. And apart from that, if you see, there have been other machines and there are some cordless objects. There's a wireless phone as well over here. And apart from that, if you see different materials, apart from medicine and other objects, they have been recovered from that area when that raid took place. And once that raid completed, then the entire material has been kept in that car and brought in over here.
3 security personnel sustained injuries during the exchange of fire.
16th of April, we had a specific input about presence of banned and illegal Maoist outfit in Chota Betia police station jurisdiction area. So there was a joint operation launched by DRG Kanker and BSF. During the search operation, around 14 hours, there was an exchange of fire, and the exchange of fire continued for almost 4 to 5 hours. At the end of the exchange of fire, we searched the area. We recovered more than 29 Maoist dead bodies. Out of the 29, 15 are female Maoist cadres, and most of them are uniform cadres.
The bodies of the Maoists were brought to the hospital where identification and post-mortem procedures were undertaken. The highly successful operation has drawn appreciation from the political spectrum. In an exclusive conversation with Republic, Bastar IG Sundaraj P briefed us on the encounter.
उसका भी शनाख्ती कार्रवाई जारी है, जो प्रतापपुर एरिया कमेटी का होगा या किसी PLGA फॉर्मेशन से, जैसा PLG कंपनी या प्लेटून्स का भी होने की संभावना है। वो संभवतः आज शाम तक मैक्सिमम जो शनाख्ती हो जाएगा। उसके लिए हमारा जो स्पॉटर्स और बाकी जो एजेंसीज है जो दूसरे स्टेट का भी जो प्रोफाइल इन सबसे चेक करवा रहा है।
As many as 79 Maoists have been killed in separate gun battles with security forces in 7 districts of the Bastar region, including Kanker. With our security forces securing a huge win, further probe into the case remains underway. Bureau Report, Republic TV.
It's the first Ram Navami after the Pran Pratishtha in Ayodhya took place in January this year. A historic Ram Navami for Hindus across the world, not just in India. And everyone who was watching the celebrations in Ayodhya today, the Surya Tilak, which illuminated the Ram Lalla idol, pictures that you will not forget for a very, very long time, that was made possible by cutting-edge technology. Take a look at this.
500-year wait came to an end this afternoon. Ram Lalla's idol in the Ram Janmabhoomi temple in Ayodhya was anointed with a Surya Tilak on the occasion of Ram Navami. At noon, the unique event unfolded, with a ray of sunlight falling on the forehead of 5-year-old Ram Lalla in Ayodhya.
हम लोग को बहुत बड़ा सौभाग्य है कि हम लोग राम लला का दर्शन करने के लिए आज आए हैं। हम लोग बहुत खुश हैं। हम लोग आज सब दोस्त परिवार मिल करके आए हैं, दर्शन करेंगे हम लोग।
बहन जी हम बहुत खुश है, आज तो बहुत खुश है। हम नरेंद्र मोदी जी का बहुत आभारी है, योगी जी का आभारी है।
Mega celebrations happening around the country marked the auspicious day. People in Ayodhya are celebrating this day at their fullest.
आप बधाइयां गा रहे थे, कुछ और थोड़ा सुना दीजिएगा। लोग तो लगातार पहुंच ही रहे हैं, दर्शन कर रहे हैं, दिक्कत परेशानी जो भी हो रही है, लेकिन राम का भाव
देखिए जाकी रही भावना जैसी। और वैसे तो सरकार ने बड़ी सुंदर व्यवस्था करी है। अभी ये व्हील चेयर की व्यवस्था है, लोग इससे भी जाते हैं दर्शन के लिए। और भी सुंदर व्यवस्थाएं हैं, रास्ता भी उसमें मैटियाँ बिछा दी गई हैं कि लोग नंगे पैर आ रहे हैं, उनके पैर न जले। भय प्रगट कृपाला दीन दयाला कौशल्या हितकारी हर्षित महतारी मुनि मनहारी.
In an exclusive interview with Republic TV, the district minister of Tilak district, Paschim Bihar, described the current Ram Navami celebration as a historic event marking the return of Ram Lalla after 500 years.
प्लान तो प्रभु श्री राम का है, जिन्होंने इस भव्य शोभा यात्रा को संचालित करने के लिए हम सबको प्रेरित किया। सर्वप्रथम मैं सभी को प्रभु श्री राम के विग्रह रूप में जाने के लिए राम लला को अपने महल में 400-500 वर्ष के बाद पहुंचने पर सभी को पहले बहुत बहुत शुभकामनाएं दूंगा, क्योंकि आज जिस हिसाब से प्रभु श्री राम का राज्याभिषेक के रूप में एक सूर्य तिलक किया गया है, तो आज हम सभी उस तेज के माध्यम से इस सब प्रार्थना करेंगे प्रभु श्री राम से कि वो इस पूरी सृष्टि के अंदर अपना तेज व्याप्त करें, सभी को अपना आशीर्वाद दें। और प्लान जो आपने कहा, प्लान कभी भी किसी समिति किसी व्यक्ति विशेष का नहीं होता, प्लान हमेशा प्रभु श्री राम का होता है और जो उस प्लान पे चलता है वो हमेशा सफल होता है।
Using cutting-edge scientific expertise, a 5.8 centimeter beam of light hit the idol's forehead. For approximately 3 to 3.5 minutes using a combination of mirrors and lenses. Around the same time, the Prime Minister also raised Jai Shri Ram chants during his poll campaign in Nalbari in Assam.
Jai Jai Shri Ram!
He watched the historic and iconic moment on his screen after his rally and extended greetings to the nation on the occasion. A team of 10 people, esteemed Indian scientists stationed at the Ram Mandir, is behind the science of the Surya Tilak. The Surya Tilak mechanism involves collaboration between scientists from CBRI, Roorkee, and the Indian Institute of Astrophysics. Employing a special gearbox and using reflective mirrors and lenses, the team orchestrated the precise alignment of sunlight rays from the temple's 3rd floor to the inner sanctum using established principles of solar tracking. Intricate arrangements that employ 19 gears were used to ensure the timely occurrence of the ritual, without relying on electricity, batteries, or iron-based components. Bureau Report, Republic TV.
On the auspicious occasion of Ram Navami, the Ram Temple in Ayodhya celebrated the birth anniversary of Lord Ram by anointing his forehead with a ray of the bold sunlight known as Surya Tilak. Devotees broke out into a song dance outside the Ram Janmabhoomi Mandir, marking the first Ram Navami after the Pran Pratishtha of the idol by Prime Minister Modi on the 22nd of January. Devotees offered prayers or blessings from Lord Ram on the occasion of Ram Navami all across the country. Celebrations across India as a huge number of devotees were also seen arriving at the Hanuman Gadi temple in Ayodhya on the occasion of Ram Navami. Mantras chanted by priests, bhajans played at the temple premises. On the occasion of Ram Navami, Kashmiri Pandits took out a Shobha Yatra in Srinagar, celebrating the day. Kashmiri Pandit community celebrated the birthday of Lord Ram with traditional fervour. Gaiety. In the midst of lengthy queues, devotees patiently waited to offer prayers at the Manasa Devi temple in Panchkula, Haryana on the occasion of Ram Navami. Joyful echoes reverberating with a deep devotion, reverence as devotees from across India gathered to seek blessings and pay homage to Lord Ram on the auspicious day. On the occasion of Ram Navami, renowned sand artist Sudarshan Patnaik created a sand sculpture of Lord Ram at the Puri beach in Odisha. Created a 7 feet high and 20-foot long sand art of Lord Ram at the Puri beach. He used about 12 tons of sand for this sculpture. RSS Chief Mohan Bhagwat, Union Minister, BJP candidate from Nagpur Nitin Gadkari, Maharashtra Deputy Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis and Congress candidate from Nagpur Vikas Thakre joined in performing a puja ahead of the Ram Navami procession. Well, it's Ram Navami and elections are around the corner, so political parties, of course, will say something or the other. We expected controversy, and in Telangana, the BJP says their Shobha Yatra petition, a request that was given, was denied by the police in Hyderabad. They're making political allegations. Here's how the story played out in Telangana today.
While India reveres in the grand celebrations of Ram Navami, politics over the divine festival escalated in Hyderabad. The city police denied permission to BJP MLA T. Raja Singh to conduct the Ram Navami Shobha Yatra in the city. Even as the MLA was forbidden to conduct the yatra, he urged people to attend the celebration. Speaking exclusively to Republic, Raja Singh has charged the government and the AIMIM of a political conspiracy.
हम पार्षद थे तभी भी कांग्रेस की सरकार थी, तभी भी बहुत सारे केसेस कांग्रेस की सरकार ने हमारे ऊपर लगाए, हमें इनलीगल केसों में फंसाया, जेल में डाला गया, तब हम नहीं रुके, तो अब क्या रुकेंगे? अभी फिर कांग्रेस की सरकार है तेलंगाना में, और जहां कांग्रेस की सरकार रहती है वहां पर तो हिंदुओं पर अत्याचार होगा ही, हिंदू फेस्टिवल को रोकने का तो प्रयत्न होगा ही। आज रेवंत रेड्डी जो रामनवमी शोभा यात्रा को जो रोकने का प्रयत्न कर रहे हैं वो दारुस सलाम के आदेश पे ही कर रहे हैं, लेकिन रेवंत रेड्डी जी को कहना चाहूँगा, हम केसीआर जैसे राक्षस से नहीं डरे तो तुमसे क्या डरेंगे?
BJP candidate from Hyderabad, Madhavi Lata, also questioned that while Muslims were allowed to freely celebrate Ramadan, why must restrictions be in place for Hindus?
भाई मेरे एक बात समझ में नहीं आता, ये लोगों का जो रमजान आया वो भी तो इलेक्शन कोड के टाइम पे आया, नहीं आया? मस्जिद बंद कर दी है क्या ये लोग? नमाज करने नहीं दिया वो लोगों को? तो फिर अभी राजा सिंह भैया का क्या है? उन्होंने अभी MP इलेक्शन में कंटेस्ट तक नहीं कर रहे, उनको इलेक्शन कोड कहाँ से है बताइए? क्यों नहीं करने दे रहे राजा भाई को? कई सालों से करते आ रहे उन्होंने। श्री राम नवमी का जो जुलूस उन्होंने निकालते, जो यात्रा उन्होंने निकालते, इसके वजह से हमारे हिंदुओं को एक प्रकार का यहाँ पे व्यक्तित्व है हमारा, यहाँ हम यहाँ जी पा रहे उसके लिए ही। अरे हम पूछते हैं इलेक्शन कोड दरमियान नहीं करना चाह रहे तो अब रमजान को भी नहीं करवाने देना.
Even as politics took over the celebrations momentarily, thousands gathered on the grand day.
Well, on the occasion of Sri Ram Navami, well, we have been seeing across the country celebrations being taking place, and also special celebrations and also grand arrangements which have been put in place at the Bhavya Ram Mandir in Ayodhya. On the other hand, we see that the Hyderabad City Police had denied permission to the BJP Goshamahal MLA Raja Singh over holding a Sri Ram Navami Shobha Yatra, and also at the same time Raja Singh, speaking to Republic TV, says that it's a conspiracy by the Chief Minister Revanth Reddy and AIMIM, that's the Asaduddin Owaisi's party, and that is the reason why the police has denied permission. But still he went ahead and held the Shobha Yatra in the area.
All right, the story from Bengaluru, the blast case where you had two of the bombers, the bomber and the mastermind that were arrested, in Bengal. As we look deeper into the bomber and the mastermind, it appears that the NIA has made a bigger breakthrough than what we had expected. One of those arrested include Mateen Taha, someone whom the agencies have been looking for over 5 years now. He also happens to be the ISIS handler in India, who was in touch with the global Islamic State leadership. Here are the exclusive details.
On March 1st, chaos erupted during lunch hour at the Rameshwaram Cafe in Bengaluru, as a low-intensity IED detonated, sending shockwaves through the bustling locale. The explosion left a grim toll in its wake, with 9 individuals sustaining injuries in the sudden and harrowing incident. Republic leads the investigation into the Bengaluru Cafe blast case, unearthing a series of alarming revelations. NIA intensified the interrogation of 2 suspected terrorists, Abdul Mateen Taha and his associates, where it reveals that Taha is a commander with ISIS and wanted in multiple cases. Latest investigation reveals that Taha was an engineering student in Bengaluru studying BTech. And in 2019, he came in contact with ISIS and dropped out of college and later joined a call center. Taha's ties with the Al-Hind Trust and his association with Mehboob Pasha and Khwaja Moinuddin reveal the depth of his involvement with extremist organizations. Elevated to the role of an ISIS commander within 6 months, Taha played a pivotal role in radicalizing youth and facilitating their engagement in terror activities. He provided financial assistance and maintained a direct contact with ISIS handlers operating abroad. As the investigation unfolds, Republic remains at the forefront, unraveling the intricate web of terror. Bureau Report, Republic TV.
From Bengaluru to Srinagar now, where we've been reporting on the Jhelum boat tragedy. At 7 a.m., a little after 7 a.m. on Tuesday, a boat carrying 19 people capsized. It's been over 48 hours and the rescue operations continue. 6 lives have been lost. Many more are still missing. NDRF, SDRF at site. Here's a ground report.
On the second day of the tragic boat incident, rescue operations resumed after a temporary halt. 6 people, including 4 children, lost their life, and the rescue for 3 others are underway.
आज का जो ये हादसा सोइटेंग में हुआ, जिसमें हमारे बच्चों की कुछ जानें तलाफी हुई, मैं अपनी दिल की उम्मी गहराइयों से उन घरों के साथ ताज़ियत करता हूं जिनके मासूम बच्चे आज इस हादसे के शिकार हुए.
The incident happened on Jhelum River near the outskirts of Srinagar in Jammu. Along with NDRF, SDRF and other forces, they resumed searches for missing individuals.
इसमें हमारे पास अराउंड 15 लोग जो हैं वो सवार थे, जिसका ब्रेकअप ये है कि उसमें 7 जो है माइनर्स थे और जो 8 है वो एडल्ट्स थे। और सुबह से ही अगर आप देखेंगे रेस्क्यू ऑपरेशन जारी है, चाहे पुलिस, आर्मी, SDRF, NDRF के द्वारा। हमारी पूरी टीम यहाँ पर है और हम लोगों ने सुबह से 12 लोगों को जो है वो रेस्क्यू किया।
CRPF, JNK police and other forces are deployed with efficient equipments to find the missing people. The administration is also closely monitoring the situation. Trained teams of Marine commandos are brought in to help the forces under the operation. The agencies are making every effort to locate the missing individuals. Mehbooba Mufti commented that such matter happens during the time of election campaign.
आज जो बंटवारा में हादसा हुआ जिसमें नाव डूब गई और हमारे बच्चे उसमें जान बहक हुए, ये बहुत अफसोस की बात है। और मैं समझती हूँ कि इस वक्त उनके दिलों पे क्या गुजरती होगी, उनके माँ बाप के दिलों पे क्या गुजरती है। मेरे पास कोई अल्फाज नहीं है। आज हम हमारी बदकिस्मती से ये वाक़ा उस वक्त पेश आया कि जब हम इस वक्त कहीं कैंपेन में चले हुए हैं, मगर मेरी सरकार से ये गुजारिश है कि इसकी बाज़ाब्ता इंक्वायरी होनी चाहिए।
On the other hand, every second counts for the family members of the missing individuals. The boat capsized due to increased speed of water flow in the river due to incessant rains over the last couple of days. However, the unresolved issue of the incomplete footbridge, which has been lying unfinished for the past 2 to 3 decades, still remains unanswered.
Sitting along the river side, you can see they're waiting for the loved ones, though for them the wait is turning more difficult because they've been waiting and the wailing sounds are echoing along the river side. You see, they're all waiting that when the people, 3 in number who are still missing, the operations have been launched. One can see the deployment of NDRF, SDRF, even the other river police and other agencies have chipped in. You see that divers are there, they are fitted, they are equipping themselves with the different equipments which are usually used to locate these individuals.
Bureau Report, Republic TV.
Okay, we're taking a short break here on Across the Republic. When we come back, we have a special segment on the Surya Tilak. Beautiful pictures that came in from Ayodhya earlier today. We're getting you a special broadcast on that. That's coming up in just a few minutes. Stay tuned.